Hope my screen is visible to all. Shall I proceed? And here is the syllabus I'm planning to cover today. And this is the topic, the traditional structure of creating a website. Yes. These are the topics I'm planning to cover. We can see each and everything inside one by one when I start to cover. So the first thing is, in a classical structure of creating a website, it is about creating a website with the normal coding type method. Of course, we have got some other options today, but anyhow, this is the most better way in creating a website. So before diving into what is web development, we just need some slight introduction, some terminologies to know about this concept. So it is, what is website? First of all, this website is a collection of interconnected web pages that is commonly hosted on a single server, and it will be accessible via different devices, different networks. Even using a laptop or phone with the responsiveness, we can see the same website in different areas, different devices using a common URL. URL means Uniform Resource Locator. So here, www.google.com is a website. Then what is a web page? As I said earlier, website is interconnected web pages. Then what is a web page? Web page is a single document that forms part of a website. It is actually using a return in HTML. To be more specific, when you go into any site, any e-commerce site or a company site, about us page in a company site, one specific thing, about us page is a web page. When you go into e-commerce site, uh, cart is a web page. Styling type of a, likewise, what to say, search, but when you click on search button, it will navigate to another web page. So likewise, website is the interconnected web pages and web page is a single document. Okay, these are the technical terminologies in web development. Let me start with domain name. So domain name is just like human readable address for the website. Amazon is the domain name. Google is the domain name. Zoho is the domain name. So each and every companies or each and every users who launch their website in internet have their own domain name. So this domain name acts as the name of the website. URL is nothing but a complete web address that points to a specific resource or a specific page. So this URL changes according to the web pages. It is not common to website. So even in Amazon, we have a product page. So this URL is for that particular product page. Hosting or web server. So hosting is where website files are actually stored and served to the users. A web server delivers website content when someone visits the URL. Browser is, as we all know, a place, common platform to access common software to access or display the websites. HTTP, where the URL starts, it is actually the protocol for transferring web data. HTTPS is a secured version with encryption. So HTML is a hypertext markup language, which is a basic language used to structure content on a web page. It helps us to give the skeleton for the web page, and CSS adds styling for that particular web page. It gives an appealing look for that particular web page and website both. JavaScript at the same time gives the interactions. That it helps in animations, form validations, and dynamic content. So this is a scripting language, whereas HTML is a markup language. It adds interactivity to the web pages. So here then becomes UI, that is front end and back end. So front end means which gives us the user interface. Whatever the things we see and interact, it is actually done with the technologies as I said before, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. While when we come to the back end, that is behind the scenes screens, the logics, the databases, the storage, the server communication, everything was done behind the screen. That is done by using these technologies, say PHP, Python, and Node.js, and databases commonly MySQL. These are more technical lines that I'm saying now, but you'll be clear when I'm getting into the topic. Okay, these are very deeper knowledge. So let me directly dive into the topic. This I'll explain each and everything in detail now. So what is web development? Web development is the process of creating, building, and maintaining websites for the internet, that is World Wide Web, or an intranet, that is a particular network. It involves everything from designing the user interface to coding the functionality and ensuring the website works seamlessly on different devices. So what if Google don't open in mobiles? It faces an issue, right? So from the starting of designing a single web page to making it in all devices, ensuring it to seamlessly work in all devices, it comes under web development. So this web development has its own key aspects. Say, first thing is designing. So before we actually land into the real building, we actually start building anything, a house or a company, we just need a plan for that particular building. So that design, that plan is actually the design. So here the building is website. So website design, it is actually creating the look, the layout, where each and every components should be placed, and the user experience of the site. All these things come inside the web design. Then comes our website functionality. So adding interactive features, the button clickings, the form validation. Uh, when you give your email, this this is not given allotted into any particular mail ID. So likewise, every validation was done with this functionality, website functionality. Then comes our content management, organizing and updating content to keep it relevant and engaging. So this is the next aspect of web development. Then comes the maintenance as usual. So regular updates, anything to change in the website or to any updates needed. So security patches and performance optimization. It is done using website maintenance. This is the key aspects of web development from designing to maintenance. Okay, then comes our master thing, that is the components of web development. Web development, website creation has different sides, as I said earlier. First thing is front end development, that is focuses on what users see, and back end development that is actually manages the servers, the database, and the application logic. And the full stack development is actually a combination of both front end and back end skills. So why is web development important? It creates a digital presence of anything, maybe your businesses, organizations, or even individuals. Say your portfolio. You can publish your own portfolio in a digital format using this web development. And again, it enables communication, commerce, and information sharing globally. Everyone and anyone can access your website with the presence of internet. So it gives your presence globally, and it supports innovation and accessibility in the digital world. So real world relevance today, almost every company, every institutions, and even individuals, as I said, for personal branding, that is portfolio, requires a website to showcase their services, products, or identity. So learning web development opens up opportunities in IT, digital marketing, freelancing, and entrepreneurship. So next, we can dive into the next topic, that is the difference between designing and development. The first key aspect is website designing, right? So website designing is nothing but the visual aspects, which we focuses on visual aspects and the user experience of a website. As I already said, it is just the designers work on the layout, color schemes. It gives a fair idea about the website to the clients in the business perspective. It gives okay, how our website is going to give an appealing look to the users, so the client will be satisfied and we can make a trial and error with that particular web design. But once we jump into web development, it focuses on functional aspects, how we are going to save the data, how we are going to manage the database. Everything will come into this particular web development. Here I have given the key differences. This I already explained. Web design actually focuses on look and web development on functionality. Common tools used for web design: Figma, Photoshop, and Canva. Here, the programming languages commonly used for web development, I already told you: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP for backend data storage. And the skills required is just your UI UX principles need for web design and programming and problem solving skills for web development. The output will be a layout or mockup and finally functional website. Okay. What are the types of websites? There are two types of websites we have. One is static website. It is made of fixed content. Each page is coded individually and the content does not change unless a developer manually edits the content. So you can just view whatever the things are displayed there. So the content remains the same for all users. Simple to create and host. These websites are don't give any other outputs to us. But when we come to dynamic websites, websites displays the content that changes based on user interaction, time, location, or data fetched from the database. So here you can see the example. E-commerce websites. It is automatically updated. It gives the results according to our searches. Social media platforms and online news portals. These are the great example for dynamic websites. And examples for static websites or personal portfolios. Unless the developer changes the content, there is no change in that particular portfolio or informations of a small business or landing pages. So I hope you're clear with this introduction of web development. Any doubts in this, or should I explain it again? Or can I go a bit slower? Since I'm sharing the screen, I can't move to the chat box. So if you want to share anything, you can open your mic and share with me. Any doubts in this topic? Okay. Let me move on to the website designing fundamentals. Just a basic, a fair idea about UI UX designing. So what is UI design? As I said, user interface. It refers to the visual elements of a website, say colors, buttons, fonts, and layouts. It has its own theory, own philosophy in designing anything, because we can't use all the colors for websites or all the fonts for websites. We should know which element should be highlighted and which text should not be highlighted. So everything has its own perspective. So the visual elements play a major part in a website and both in applications. Then it's all about how the website looks and how easy it is to interact with. Then comes our user experience, that is UX design focuses on overall experience a user has when using a website. It's about how smooth, interactive, and satisfying the interaction is. So if you find you can't find a delete button or to back button easily, it is actually an issue in that particular website or application. So it comes under UX. So UI designs gives the visual design and aesthetics. UX gives the usability, satisfaction, and efficiency. So it is used to create attractive interfaces. UX is used to make site easy and enjoyable. So this UX plays a major role in uh, returning users. Only if the UX is good, the users will often visit your website or your application, feels better and safer, comfortable with your website. So examples is the website with beautiful colors, but confusing navigation means it is good in UI, but poor in UX. Plain looking website that is easy to use and fast means good UX, but average UI. So both best websites balance both UI and UX. So this is a basic for designing. What is wireframing? Wireframing is just, it is the process of creating a basic visual printout of a website layout before actual designs or coding begins. It represents the structure, placement of elements, and the user flow without focusing on colors and graphics. So this is actually the skeleton of website. So wireframing is actually two types of wireframes. Low fidelity, which is a rough sketches of basic layout to outline structures, high fidelity with more detailing with closer resemblance to the final design. So wireframing can be done. So actually, wireframing in the sense the designing can be done using different tools. The free tool is Figma, which most of the web designers, web application designers, and website designers use this. It is just actually a drag and drop UI components, collaborative editing, and prototyping. Next is a Canva. As you all know, it is user-friendly graphic design platform, pre-made website wireframe templates. It is also a drag and drop design. Then comes our Pencil project. It is an open source desktop application for creating mockups and wireframes. So pre-installed shapes and export to various formats. It's just the steps to create a wireframe, general process. We can move to web development. So before that, we need a important topic, responsive design. Yes, responsive design is an approach where a website automatically adapts its layout and elements to fit different screen sizes, say desktop, tablet, mobile, and across any other devices. So in simple terms, it ensures the website looks good and works well on any device. If a text was coming or folding around in a mobile design, and it actually looks good in a laptop, it is not a good website or a good responsive design. So why responsive design is important? Mobile usage is dominant. So most users access website from smartphones. So it should be appealing while using even in smartphone, laptop, across any other devices. So better user experience, a website that adjusts to users' devices is easier to navigate and interact with. Improved SEO ranking, search engines like Google favor mobile-friendly websites. Okay, because we are often engaging with mobile, it gives more favor to the mobile engaging websites. So cost effective, one responsive site works for all devices. No need for separate mobile version. So because designing a separate website design also cost the client between the client and the business holders. Higher engagement and conversion, users stay longer and are more likely to take action, buy, sign up, and whatever on any responsive site. Okay. Now we can move to our Real content. What is HTML? Hypertext Markup Language is the standard language used to create and structure content on the web page. Actually, HTML uses tags where the keywords wrapped in the angle brackets. So HTML actually uses this particular angle brackets for every tags to define different parts of a web page. It has a different tag for headings, different tags for images. So for all different parts of a web page, it has different tags to specify it. So the browser read these tags to display the content correctly. So now let's see the basic structure of a HTML. So HTML in the sense, basic structure of an HTML. Okay, this is the simplest form. Let me explain each parts and we can also see the same in coding also. So first, whatever the web page can start with, the first line should be doc type HTML. So it tells the browser this is an HTML5 document. So the browser will read the web page line by line, read the code line by line. So the first line we have to denote like this, representing, I mean, conveying the browser that HTML5 document. This particular tag says that HTML5 document ensures proper rendering across browsers. Then comes this is the head tag, this is the closing tag. I mean, opening tag and closing tag. So opening tag, we do not have the hash in the front, but in the closing tag, we do have the hash. So if you are opening something at first, you should open it, close it last in the particular code. You can see I have started the HTML tag here. It is the root element that wraps all the content of that particular page. So I'm opening the HTML tag here and closing it at the end. So everything in your web pages goes inside these tags. So after reading that particular doc type, next the browser comes to this line. Okay, it is going to have a HTML content here. Okay. Then we comes to the head tag. It contains the metadata about the web page, but this is not visible to the user. So under this head tag, we can have multiple metadata. We can give the title, sets the page title that will appear in the browser. Meta tag means provides information like keywords, descriptions. According to these keywords, the Google helps in SEO configuration. And then the links. We can also link the external CSS files. As we move on, we will know what these links and scripts helps us. And script means links, Java files, JavaScript files. Okay. Then where comes our title tag. So defines the title of the web page shown in the browser. You can see W3 Schools HTML. And this is the mostly used tutorial for HTML. If you need to learn it in elaborate, I'll explain here in elaborate, but it will also give your own practice, this particular website. Okay. So everything, the title document, whatever we are seeing in the Chrome tab was displayed only because of this particular title tag. Body tag contains all visible content of the web page, text, images, buttons, and links. Has the body tag. So the head tag actually contains the metadata. So the title will be placed inside the head tag. So I have started the open tag of title and the closing tag of title with a hash before the word title. So then I have closed that particular head tag. Once the metadata is finished, so we should close the head tag properly here. Then we are opening the body tag. So mostly the confusions arise where we have to close, where we have to open. So this needs a long practice. Body tag contains all the visible content of the web page. Text, images, as I said, everything users see on the screen is placed inside the body tag. So content tag inside body. Whatever types of tags can be listed in the body. First thing, H1 to H6. This gives the headings. H1 is the largest and H6 is the smallest. The font size can be, size and thickness can be given in this particular heading tags. And then comes our paragraph. If all the content was like this bolded throughout the website, will it be a good UI? No. So for that, paragraph tags were used. So P denotes the paragraph and A denotes the hyperlinks where we can link, uh, where we can connect different links. And then comes the image, image tag, and section means section or containers for grouping content. Okay, so this will give you a elaborate text type in the coding format itself. So visual breakdown of the structure. The first thing, as I said, document type declaration, doc type HTML, then our HTML root tag, then comes our head tag opening, meta information with the title tag opening and the title and closing. Then the body tag, visible content with heading tags and paragraph tags. We can close all these tags after this. So why understanding the structure is important? It is the foundation for all websites. So without a proper structure, browsers may not display content correctly. So what if you give the P tag before this heading tag? It will display the paragraph before the heading. So it is not good. So for a proper structure is required for any kind of websites. So it helps organize content logically for better SEO and accessibility. So here I have a code for a basic HTML structure. So let me copy this. Once if I run this, you can know how so this is one of the software I'm using for both application development and website development. But there is an alternative. You no need to download all these things. You just simply run in your notepad. I'm just copying it here. I have saved, but only thing is you should save the particular text file as index.html or whatever the page you want, you should rename it and the extension should be in .html. Now I'm saving this. So it will be saved in the .html. It was in my desktop. Okay. Sorry. Actually, I should share the whole screen so that you will be visible. Sorry. Sorry for this interruption. So, okay. I hope the screen is visible now. Okay. Let me move to this. Now I am using it in my software. Okay. Shall we run this? It gives all, it is actually a whole set of HTML things. It have links, it have images, Since I've not given the right path, it is just showing the icon. If you have your particular website icon, you can change this icon. This is called fave icon, and the title will be displayed like this. So it gives you a fair idea about how this web, each and everything looks like. So let me explain this now. So here the character set gives the text type UTF-8. So meta, it will be in viewport. It will be accessible in all devices. So when I give the content, width is equal to device width. Whatever the device is, it will accordingly change. Then our title, my first HTML website. So here you can see that in the browser tab, my first HTML website. So then header. So here we are closing the particular head tag and then opening our body tag. In the body tag, we are giving header. So in that header, first heading 1, welcome to my website. That is what displayed in the top, welcome to my website. Then comes the paragraph. This HR gives a break, line break. The header is closed now, and nav means it is actually navigation. It navigates to different pages. Since I have not connected to any page, it is not navigating anywhere. But using this, we will navigate to different HTML pages. Then under each section, what we are going to display? Section ID. We are defining each section with a section ID. So I'm giving a name that is about. You should read this particular uh, code in this page. In about page, we are giving the heading, second heading. So it should not highlighted than the first heading. So we are choosing H2. Then again, we are giving a paragraph and the image source here. Since I have not placed my particular file in my desktop, it is not displayed, the image is not displayed. If you give a right path, let me give that also. It will give you a fair idea. Mm, Let me copy this address, copy as path. Now I am replacing it here. Yeah, the image was, the width was too big. That's the issue. Okay, let me undo this. Again, we are giving a HR for the break. So in this, we have started a section ID, section with particular ID, and now we are closing that section. Next, we are coming to next section with the ID as services. Here we have different next heading. UL is actually list, that is table. Here you can see the table. It is a, sorry, it is actually points. It is listed in a list. So web design, web development, SEO optimization, everything is in points. Then again comes our table. So TR is a, what we say, that is column. Sorry, row. In that particular TR, web design is the first value. Table, row. In that table row, we have the heading, service. Under that service, we have price. Sorry, these are the rows of that first row. Service and prices. Service and prices. First row, table heading. Then comes our second row, website design. This is data. So this is heading. This is data, table data, website design, and website design, the pricing for that particular website design. Then comes the website development. It is another row, another data in this particular columns. So if I change this, alignment, where I have given first the service, then the pricing. Now, let me change this. Let me give this pricing before the website design. So what happens now? Under the service title, the price will be displayed. Let's see. See? So the HTML will be reading line by line. So this, you have given that this order I'm going to place the table. This particular content should come under this column, under this heading, and this particular content should come under this column and this heading. So if you change that alignment, that layout, it will result in a wrong data in your table. Hope you all understand. Okay. So we have first started the table tag here, then give our row. What are the rows we are planning? Under first row, we have given the table heading. We have closed that one. Second heading, and we have closed that one. So first row is over. Then we are opening the second row. Under that row, what data should be displayed under each heading? We have given it according to the headings. The data has displayed according to the heading, and we have closed that row. Second, again, we have opened the row with the data content. Now, all the data were completed. Here, the border is given for 1 thickness with a cell padding of 5. So let us now close this table tag and also closing the section. The whole section, the service section, we are closing here. With the HR, we have a line separation there. Yes, we do have a line separation here. Now we are getting into second section, that is video, my introduction video. For that, we are opening another section. So here we are not identifying any ID. I hope it is visible. We are then introducing the title. What is the width of the what height and what width the video should be displayed. So this is the controls for that particular video. So the video tag starts here. Width is the property of video. Width and height are the properties of video. And again, we are opening the source tag here. So some tags are empty tags. That is, we don't have the closing tag for some tags. See, For this HR, we don't have a closing tag. BR means line breaking. For that, we don't have a closing tag. Let me add a BR here and you'll be more clear there. If I give this and display it, it will be displayed in next line. So that is the function of BR. Some of the tags don't have a closing tag. Those tags are called empty tags. Then with or the property, then comes our source. So in the SRC, we are giving the sample MP3 video. Again, what is the type of this particular source? We need to give MP3 or MP4, how it should be displayed. So that particular type of the source. Your browser does not support the video tag. Okay, fine. Then we go on to the audio. Again, audio controls. If this attribute is present, the browser will offer controls to allow the user to control audio playback. So controls means we are giving the playing control to the user. Seeking, increasing volume, seeking, pause, resume, playback. All these functions will be listed with this one particular property. There also we have mentioned controls. Here also in audio and video, both we have control. So again, the source, since we have not displayed the proper audio, we don't have, we can't play it. That's it. So we have started the audio and we have closed the audio section here and also closing this particular section with the HR line breaker. Then we come to the contact ID. Here we have a form. This validation is actually run using a JavaScript. So right now we have not connected to any server. So we can't save this data, but we can enter this data. In a form, we are now opening a form tag. So for any form you're filling, you should fill some detail. So what kind of question you're going to ask? That is called label. What the display of a question is called label. Then comes our BR. BR is, as I earlier said, it gives a line break. So you can see the label here, name label. Then again, you should give what kind of input you're going to ask. Input is a empty tag again. This particular label means the input. So we are saying that we need input for this. Then what kind of input you need? It is a text or a number or a long message. What is it? It is a text. What kind of text? What under which variable we are going to store this? Under name variable, we are going to store the name. Again, we are connecting this name with this email. So we are giving the same variable here. We are giving another label called email. Here the type is email. So all this validation will be done using JavaScript. Here we have 2 line breaks. Again, the label for message. So message means it will give us a text area. So a long area to fill this data. Then comes our text area. Here we just have a input, but now we are giving it a text area. Input means the text box, you can see these are too smaller, but see this particular form input is where the box is bigger than these two. So this is called text area, where we are going to give a message, row 4 rows. Columns, 30 columns. Actually, the row pixels, rows and columns acts as pixels. Okay, then we have a input that is submit type with the value send message. This will be displayed in that particular button. If you give just the submit message, it will display. So all these types, we are referring that what kind of data the input is going to display. Okay, done. This is about the HTML. Now we have completed the section. We have also given the footer. You'll often see this in any particular website you go. At the end, you will see who have designed this. The copyrights will be displayed there. That will be in the footer. So now we are closing the body tag and the HTML tag. This is a whole view of a website creation. Okay. Let me now go to this. Okay. Okay. So what are the tags we have seen? I'll give an overview. What is what? What tag and components does this include? Structure tags or doc type, HTML, head. Under whatever the sections it should come. So these are the structure tags. Head, body, header, footer, section, and navigation. Then the text tags. These are actually the text tags. H1 to H6 is heading. Paragraph gives the lengthier paragraph. HR is just the line, separator, gives the separator, and BR is the line breaker. These are called text tags. Then links and images. And IMG has the list, untitled list, ordered list, unordered list, ordered list, general list. Unordered means it will be aligned in any order, not only in the particular order you give, but OL means ordered list. It is static, it will not change. Then tables, as we have seen, this is table tag, table row, table heading, and table data. Then multimedia tags, video and audio. Form elements will have form, input, text area, label. Done. So we have run in index.html in our Chrome. Okay. Now we go to the CSS basics. CSS means cascading style sheets. It is a style sheet language used to style and format the visual presentation of a web page. What colors should be displayed in text? What colors should be displayed in background? Each and every containers, it's styling. Not only colors, but all the animations will come here. While HTML provides the structure and content, CSS defines how it looks. So why it is important? It gives a better appearance. Separate content HTML from design CSS for cleaner code. So contents will be written in HTML, designs will be written in CSS. So makes website responsive and visually appealing, allows reusability of styles across multiple pages. We can reuse, if you have defined something in the earlier code, we can reuse in other pages also. So there are two types of, two ways to add CSS, that is inline CSS. We can style the particular paragraph, particular heading in each of its inline. So that is called inside each HTML element. You can use the style attribute to add designs. So we are defining the color as blue here, font as, let me replace this particular code in our website index.html page. Let me copy this. Oh, sorry. Let me paste it here. So here I have given blue color. Even we can change color. Nice. Green. Okay. The font size is 18px. This is a styled para. Okay. Let's see. How's the style look like? See, the color was changed. This is a styled para. Even the content was also changed. I've just copied from there. This is how CSS helps us in styling. Whereas inline styling, CSS, internal, and then comes the external. Internal means CSS return inside the style tag in the HTML head section. We will define this in a head section itself. So the para should, with the style tag, we will define everything. The para should be in this color. The heading should be in this color. Everything we will give in this style tag in the head section itself. So it will read it first and then apply it to the particular paragraph. Whenever the paragraphs were coming, it will reuse it. Again, external means we were using style sheets link, just replicating it in our website. So this is the basic CSS index. We have some selector, say, as I said, here the selector is paragraph. Then we giving the properties here. Color is a property. Font size is a property. If it was a table, border is a property. Everything is a property there. For each property, we have a value. Property value pair for each selector. So selector or the tags, the HTML elements, say, as I said earlier, paragraph, heading, class, ID, whatever it is. So these are the targets. This targets the HTML tags. Then the property means the style you want to apply, color or font size, and the value for that particular property. Here is a styling of a page. I'm just replacing this in my index.html page. We are just refreshing it. No colors were there. We have just taken from the style sheet. We can also add a, let us remove this and add an inline style here. How it should look. Style. First selector we should give. Then we should give the property. COLOR, color. Comma. Each property should be separated using the comma. Font. Such. Right. Oh, sorry. Each property should be separated using colon. Semicolon. I was it. 18 page. That's it. Wherever the paragraph was, it will replace the color into Oh my God, it's so dull. We can change the color. No reflection. Okay. So this is simple styling. You can use templates and even external styling sheets for better designs. Okay. Then comes a major part that is our JavaScript. Okay. Hmm. Introduction to JavaScript. What is JavaScript? JavaScript is a programming language that adds interactivity, dynamic behavior, and functionality to websites. Sure, I will share all the code. Even I can share the document itself. You can have a better reference. Oh, sorry, let me start my explanation. What is JavaScript? JavaScript is a programming language. It is not a markup language. It is actually a scripting language that adds interactivity, dynamic behavior, and functionality to websites. While HTML structures the content and CSS styles that content, JavaScript makes it come alive with actions and responses. It gives life to the buttons. It helps us to store the data. Actually, not storing the data, it helps us in making the interactions. Why is JavaScript important? It enables interactive actions, as we said, forms, pop-ups, sliders, all the dynamic content. It controls HTML and CSS dynamically, changing content styles on the fly. It helps in animations, makes web application more engaging, say Gmail, YouTube, Instagram. Every clicks, every scrolls are controlled using the JavaScript. Works on all modern browsers without additional installation. So how JavaScript works with HTML and CSS? JavaScript is executed by the browser. As like HTML and CSS tags, JavaScript is also executed by the browser. It can manipulate HTML, add, remove, or delete elements, and also change the CSS styles dynamically. It responds to the user events. Here is a HTML plus JavaScript example. What happens here? Initially, the page shows welcome. When the button is clicked, JavaScript changes the text dynamically. So, okay, let's run this and see what happens. Okay, I'm copying this, placing here. I've add a script here. In that script, I have given a function called change text. In this particular change text, in here I have given a variable called document where it needs the document type. So get element by ID. Using this tag, we are asking for an element. In this element, in the inner HTML where it is, the title was here. So you click the button. Let's see what happens. By clicking this, then it displays you click the button. See. So we have a button here which says on with a on click function. Pointing device button has been pressed and released on an element. So it will change text. So we have defined this function in this on click variable. So this particular text is going to be changed so that we are giving the change text function here. And we are reusing the function again, change text. So for that, in this document, get element by ID, we have got the element ID, got the element in the title here. So the ID, from the ID we have taken the title. So the changed text will be you click the button. Okay. I hope it is clear. If not, let me explain it again. Okay. Let me move to the next. So key features of JavaScript. It actually has a client-side execution, runs in the browser without needing a server. So it is not storing data. It just gives the interactions for our website. Event handling responds to user actions like clicks, typing, scroll. In form handling, this event handling is a main function which is done using JavaScript. DOM manipulation. So changes the structure and content of a website in real time. And again, cross platforms works on different devices and operating system. So not only for Windows, we can also use it for Linux and other operating system also. Versatility can also be used on server side. So what if your code is not used for server side? It is useless. We have to write another for a server side connection to accepting the data. So in Node.js, it also accepts the server side. It is also working in server side codes. Then real life examples of JavaScript. As I said before, form validation. Example, checking if email is entered correctly at gmail.com. So if it is not presented there, it will give a validation there. Image sliders and carousel effects. So for a smooth flow of UI also, this JavaScript helps us. Interactive maps. Google Map is a great example of JavaScript. And then dynamic content loading, YouTube contents, that infinite scrollings. Then for search criteria, whatever we search, it gives a display. It gives the result accordingly. So likewise, basic syntax and how to add JavaScript. JavaScript syntax is similar to other programming languages like C or Java. Variables to store. So first we will defining the variable. Then statements to perform action. Then again functions to organize the code and events to react to user actions. So here we are declaring the variable name. So then we are giving the statement. Alter is the statement. Again, what event is going to perform here? With this hello, with the concatenation of the function, concatenation of the variable, we'll get this John displayed. Then, how to add JavaScript to web pages? As like CSS, we have inline JavaScript, internal JavaScript, and external JavaScript. Again, we comes to the inline JavaScript. Return inside an HTML elements attribute. So here is the button tag. So it is a HTML tag, starting tag and opening tag and closing tag. And we are giving the function here on click. It will give a interaction of clicking actions in that on click. So what is going to be displayed? Alter hello. Click me is going to be displayed, but in this on click we'll having this alter hello. Again, inline JavaScript means return inside the script tag within the HTML file. In CSS, we have seen style tag. Now we are seeing script tag. We have seen this already in the previous example. We have a script tag. Here we are defining the function. Which function does the on click to be performed? So here we are defining the function. So this is the function actually. On click is a variable. Under the variable, where does the which function should be performed? So in this function, we are opening the function. So in its document, using the get element by ID in this particular attribute, we are giving the message ID. Which ID? Message ID. What will be displayed there? Welcome is displayed there. Instead, inner HTML, the text changed. This will be displayed there. Okay. Welcome is the text in the button. Change text will be here. As a result, by clicking this button, instead of welcome, text changed will be displayed there. Then in external HTML means we have returned the JavaScript functions in a separate file. As like HTML.html, we'll be saving .js for JavaScript file. So we have written all the interactions in that particular file. So in this script tag, the HTML will read the functions and reflect it in our HTML page. Script.js file. It will contain this file. While we run this code, it will display this. I will also showcase that. Before that, I'm adding a new file here, script.js, S-C-R-I-P-T, script.js. So that is what we have given as source, script.js. In that script page, JS page, what is going to be the content? Alter this text. Alter. This is going to be displayed there. Nothing different. So now I am pasting this. Let's run this and see what happens. Okay. So this title with the small interaction, we have get the external JavaScript example. By giving it is in a separate page, our HTML file runs that JS file. Okay. Key rules. We have some rules to be followed in JavaScript. Statement ends with a semicolon. If it is not ended with a semicolon, it also shows an error. Optional but recommended. It will show an error. So we don't know where the error exists, but actually the problem, you have not placed the semicolon in right place. It is case sensitive. Here the functions small name with a small n and capital N are different. So it will store in different places. So use curly braces for blocks of code inside functions and conditions. As we have seen earlier, wherever we start a function, we'll use this curly braces here. Always wrap JS code in script tag when writing inside a HTML. When it is an internal JavaScript, you should write it in this script tag. There we have used style tag in CSS. For JavaScript, we use script tag. So combining all concepts, we have a simple example. Here we have defined the doc type and we have started the root HTML tag here. Then we have given the head tag. Under the head tag, we have given the title tag. Then comes so mostly the script and the style should be placed in the head tag. So we have defined a function here. The function is change color. So the document type body kulla, inside the body, inside the style, in that style, it's going to be changed the background color. The color is going to be light green. So then comes up, we have closing our head tag and opening our body tag with the heading H1, hello JavaScript. Here the button action, it is going to perform the change color function, which we have defined earlier, and change background. This is the button. Let's see what happens here. So as we have said, JavaScript is displayed. Where is the JavaScript? It is the H1 title. Now let us click on the button. Change background. By clicking the button, the background color is changed so that it is given in the document. So document means the whole document, HTML. Inside the body, inside the style, we are adding background color. We are changing the background color here. So this is simple interactions, but JavaScript is a vast title. Even HTML, CSS, JavaScript, including everything, it is a vast title. Practice on your own. I would suggest W3 Schools for your daily practice. It has all the code snippets for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So here you see hovering the tabs, top navigation, each and everything you have icons, menu icon, accordion. So you can also know the terminologies, technical terminologies of each button, each interaction, and how the code works. Everything you can learn here because I have learned everything in this W3 schools only. So I do suggest this. How each navigation works. What is a class? Everything you can learn in the site. I prefer this. Okay. Now it's time for question and answer session. Any doubts or anything else you can ask to me now. Any other doubts? If you want this document, I'll share this document. So you can refer all the code, everything. Hope you all understand.
Hello, Hamsadani.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then we have okay. You have completed the session, right?
Yeah.
So if anyone have any questions, then they can ask, and it's open
Okay.
for question and answer session.
Yes.
So today we only had our committee members to join today's session, and if any of you have any queries, then they can ask now. It's open. And Srihari or maybe Amrita or Diksha or the Red 9 Power, maybe the one who registered for the session. Mm. Any doubts? Hello? Hello?
I hope
Yeah.
no doubts for anyone.
Okay, so if they have any doubts, they can reach out to Hamsudani.
Sure,
Okay.
sure, sir.
Yeah, then maybe we can wind up our today's session. Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.